Okay, so welcome back to another episode of the Fortnite Mythbusters. We're currently on episode 72, and the support on this series has been unreal lately. But anyways guys, just like always, if you do have a myth you would like me to test in the next or future episodes of the Fortnite Mythbusters, make sure to go down in the comment section down below and drop a comment of a unique myth for a pretty good chance to be featured. Also guys, if you do enjoy today's video, feel free to leave a like. Let's see if we can smash 10,000 likes on today's episode. That would be insane. Also, if you don't know already, at 500,000 subscribers I will be doing a face reel, so if you do like what you see, feel free to subscribe and turn those post notifications on to never miss another video. A whole ton of you guys have been asking me, where have the streams been? You aren't streaming on Twitch anymore. Basically, I've changed over to Caffeine and I have a set schedule which I personally have been sticking to, and it's been a whole ton of fun. Basically, why I moved over to Caffeine is just it's a lot more interactive. I mean, it literally has no delay. You come onto my stream, which I'm currently streaming right now if you don't know already. You will talk in chat and I will respond to you within seconds. Like, the chat is almost instant, which it makes it a lot more fun to read chat and interact with you guys. As of right now, if you're watching this video within the first couple of hours it has been published, I am live streaming right now, literally doing custom matchmaking games with you guys, custom matchmaking scrims, and we do a whole ton of stuff. I even record videos with you guys, so feel free to come on by, say what's up to me, talk in chat, and I hope to see you guys there. Anyways guys, without further ado, let's get right on into today's episode. Jumping straight into the first myth. The first myth is, can you die to a junk rift while you're dancing during the taco time? When I tried this out, I was in the playgrounds, but if you don't know already, the junk rift, if you do throw it down on yourself, it will kill you. It will do damage to you. So when I tested this out, I waited for the taco time dance to begin, and I literally timed it perfectly, because right before the dinosaur was about to hit my player, I started doing the taco time dance, and I survived it. I mean, I literally took no damage to it. I was just kind of glitched inside of it, and I don't know, it was pretty weird, I'm not gonna lie. While the dance was still happening, I was unfortunately still stuck inside of the dinosaur. I was not able to walk around or get out of it until it was fully over. From there, I was able to pickaxe myself out of it, and I was alive. Going into the next myth is, if you glide from above Greasy Grove and the taco time begins, will you start dancing in mid-air? When I tried this out in game, I was not sure when the taco time was gonna begin, but luckily it began when I was kind of gliding in mid-air, and as soon as everybody starts to dance and it all basically begins, it will kick you out of your glider and you will fall straight down to the ground, but luckily you will not take any fall damage. Unfortunately, you were not able to glide inside of Greasy Grove for very long because of this dance, but later on in this video we will learn something pretty cool that you might want to know about considering all of this. Going into the next myth is, can you heal from a campfire while a prop inside of moisty palms? Now I get it, a whole ton of people are unhappy with moisty palms because whenever you press crouch it will turn you into a prop, but I guess this could be a good thing, because when I did try this out in game to see if you would heal from a campfire, surprisingly you literally are able to heal. I mean, you could place a campfire down in a room, box yourself in, hide yourself, turn it into a prop, and nobody will even know there's a player in there actually healing. It might be just a little bit suspicious because there will be a random campfire just lit and kind of healing, I guess, the items around it. But this is definitely a tip you need to know, so if you ever are in moisty palms and you do need to heal by a cozy campfire, you might want to go inside of the buildings. That way you could kind of make yourself a little bit more secret. Going into another moisty palm slash prop myth. This myth is, can you jump on a launch pad while you're a prop inside of moisty palms? Now in standard creative mode prop hunt, we tested a few episodes back on the Fortnite Mythbusters series that you are unable to jump on top of a launch pad and launch away while you are a prop. So can you do this while you're inside of moisty palms, or does it affect it the exact same way? Surprisingly, when I did test this out, I placed down a launch pad and I jumped on it while I was a prop, and surprisingly you are able to glide, but you can't pull out your glider. I mean, you are able to skydive, you're able to go around just as if you were skydiving, and it does not even pull out your glider, which allows you to basically jump on top of a launch pad, similar to like how you are on a trampoline. Like, you press W, you press whatever button it is to walk, and you'll go down extremely fast. Keep in mind though, whenever you are doing this and you are in mid-air and say you right click or do whatever button it is to get out of the platform, it will immediately pull out out your glider and you will not be able to change back into the prop form until you do hit the ground. So you might want to keep an eye out for that one. But other than that, you are kind of cool to bounce on top of a launch pad. Going into the next myth is what happens when you jump on a launch pad during the taco time at Greasy Grove. Like we saw earlier in today's video, whenever you're gliding inside of Greasy Grove and the taco time dance begins, it will kick you out of your glider and you will begin doing the dance. So does the same thing happen when you bounce on top of a launch pad during the taco time dance? To my surprise, you could literally use a launch pad to cancel out the entire dance itself and pull out your weapon, pull out your builds, and basically get rid of the taco time dance before it even ends, which grants you a massive competitive advantage. So next time you're inside of Greasy Grove, you might want to place down a launch pad maybe inside of a building or right outside of a building, so whenever the dance does begin, you'll have an easy shot on players while they're dancing and maybe do some damage, or at least you'll be one step ahead of them and possibly even gain some high ground. I have a slight feeling though, if an Epic employee does see this, or if this does become a massive issue within the community, Epic might patch this, so you might want to keep this to yourself. Going into the next myth is what happens when you walk into moisty palms while you are already crouching. Now this is a pretty simple and easy myth to do. Unfortunately, when you are already crouching and you walk into moisty palms, you will immediately turn into a prop form, and if you press crouch again, you'll still become a prop. I mean, there is literally no way to be crouching while inside of moisty palms, which is a massive bummer. Honestly, I feel like they should just change the keybind to something else to turn into a prop here. I mean, so many people use crouch whenever they're healing, like they spam crouch or even shooting, so this is a massive competitive issue that not a lot of people are liking. I could kind of see why. Going into the next myth is, will a shockwave grenade affect you while you're a prop inside of moisty palms? Whenever I try this out in game, I tried it with my own shockwave grenades as well as my friend, and surprisingly, just like in a regular creative prop hunt game mode, you will not be affected by a shockwave grenade while you are in a prop form. But as soon as you are your regular player, you don't press crouch and you are just a player, not a prop, you will be affected by a shockwave grenade and you will be launched. Personally, I feel like the props should be affected by the shockwave grenades, especially in the battle royale mode, not even creative mode, because I mean, if there's a whole squad hiding inside of a room and you're a prop and you're just looting, maybe you want to use a shockwave grenades to maybe clear out a whole room, just be safe. But this time it won't affect the prop and you're safe to hide. Going into the next myth is, if you're a prop in moisty palms, will a shield bubble stick to you, and what happens when you change away from that prop if it does end up sticking? The shield bubble is definitely a really cool item because you throw it on literally anything and it will stick to it, including vehicles, which allows it to be mobile. So can it stick to a prop while you run around? Surprisingly, when we did try this in game, it would stick to a prop and you could run around with it, but as soon as you transform into a human, it will fall off of you, and I guess you don't have the shield bubble on you anymore, which makes it a little bit kind of interesting when playing in game. Personally, I really don't see a point to this myth, because if you do use a shield bubble in game, usually you wouldn't really want to move around with it unless there's maybe like a mech or a brute shooting at you or something. Going into the next myth is, does the taco dance appear if you're invisible from a shadow bomb? Now this is actually a really good myth, and I have a good feeling that the shadow grenades or the shadow bombs will be added back into the game very soon, so you might want to keep an eye out for this myth. Surprisingly, in game, whenever I threw down the shadow bomb and I walked into Greasy Grove during the party time, it immediately got rid of the shadow bomb effect and I started dancing, doing the taco dance or the taco time dance. So unfortunately, the shadow bomb will not protect you like a lot of us would have hoped if it does end up coming back. Going into the next myth is, what happens when you try to reboot your squad member at 2 separate reboot vans at the exact same time? In game, when we tried this out, I had a few friends help me out, as well as a fan which I chose from my Discord, discord.gg/Nexiph. Make sure to join if you ever want to help me out with a few myths. I usually ask for some help there. I was basically dead and I told my friends to reboot at literally the exact same time, which we used by the countdown timer for the storm closing in, but every single time we did try it, it was a 50-50 chance. So I don't know if there's a slight second in between you rebooting one place to the other, but every single time we tried it, it was a 50-50 chance. This was also similar to the myth we tested out previously when 2 separate people on 2 separate teams tried to reboot their teammate at the exact same time. That time it was also a 50-50 chance when it clearly wasn't. Anyways, that's gonna be it for today's video. I hope you have enjoyed. If you have, make sure to leave a like like, subscribe if you are new to the channel. Make sure to comment down a myth you would like me to test in the next or future Mythbuster episodes, and I'll see you guys next time.